Hey everybody, I'm doing an up and down video today because every time I try to do it this way, my steering wheel it wants to fall. So I didn't know if I wanted to do this video or not. Y'all know I'm very upbeat. I love to smile. I love to make people happy. I love to make you laugh. But I thought with this journey I needed to be real. Everything's fine as far as food and again liquids. This will take me liquids. I can get protein in now, no problem. Liquids, this will take me all day. Sometimes it's hard, but what I want to talk about is grief and trauma. So y'all know I talk about my son a lot. He'll be 21 on September the 9th. If you didn't know, he was born with a genetic disorder, learning disability, and autism. I fought tooth and nail when he went to school to make sure that he had every available resource to him. I did not want him pulled out and put in a special class. I wanted him in a regular class. He did get pulled out for some special help for a little while. This kid's amazed me. I mean, he didn't walk till it was right before he could go to kindergarten. I mean, probably 3. He didn't talk clear. Well, talk until around that same age. He used to grunt at things like if he wanted milk, he'd go, point at the refrigerator, and people would say, okay, you got to stop talking for him, because he'd go, and I say, you want milk? And, so I tried not to talk for him, and I have sheltered this kid. I'm not going to lie, me and my husband both. That's why he wanted to take welding. He has never held nothing but a screwdriver and a flathead. He thought this would make him feel more manly, and that's why I let him choose in his second degree what he wanted to do. He graduated in May with an associate's degree in applied science and mechatronics. He has never had a job. Due to his anxiety, he cannot work and go to school, which that's hard for a lot of people. And we told him that we would take care of him, and we just wanted him to work on his education right now. Now he may get to do some interning shifts this year, because this degree, associate's degree, will take 2 years. And ever since we've took welding, it's been something right after another. And y'all have heard me talk about my frustrations about, the cost mostly. So he got his new helmet, and he could see better. He's doing a greater job now. He even I said, you need to be honest with your instructor. Tell him you don't know nothing about tools. Just tell him up front, because if I was training somebody or I was an instructor, I want to know about your life. I said, don't be ashamed. So yes, this kid has always done this. I'm his buddy. I mean, that's why I did this surgery. It's because I understand him completely. Me and him have such a relationship that when he says something, I know where his mind is going. And you have to have a lot of patience. I feel sorry for children that have special needs, autism, whatever, depression, anxiety. It doesn't have, and you don't have a support system. So again, his birthday's coming up September 9th. Well, that's also the date my mother passed of COVID. And you have to remember, we didn't get to say goodbye. We didn't think when she was put in that hospital she wasn't coming home. We never got to talk to her on the phone. Didn't get to look through a window at her. Nothing. So all my classes I've took, all my reading on grief, I read a section about trauma. That sometimes grief will include trauma when you have, that was a traumatic event, not being able to say goodbye, her dying instantly, just like if you was to lose somebody in a car wreck, couldn't say goodbye, things like that. So sometimes you have trauma attached to your grief. So last night he come in there and he said, Mom, he hasn't had a panic attack since his junior year of high school, and it happened not long after my mom passed, and we couldn't figure out what we thought. He was passing out like for 1 or 2 minutes, and we thought something was wrong with his heart, so we had his heart checked. Now he can't have his heart will, like if he sits here, if we're sitting here together, his heart's beating faster than mine, so they want us to limit his caffeine intake. And he also had to stop taking Adderall in his junior year because of his heart. He can't. So that made school even harder and college even harder without that medication. So he come to me last night and said, Mom, when I have that helmet on and I'm welding, I'm feeling claustrophobic. I know I'm not saying that right. And I said, well, that's understandable. He said, it's like 2020 again. And that made in my head go off. So 2020, people were forced to wear masks and, so many things. And that was probably traumatizing for some people also. But it also made me remember when he started passing out, all that was related to my mother's death. And then I went, his birthday's coming, and it's another milestone. When he turned 18, I got on YouTube and Facebook and asked people to send him cards because we couldn't have him a party for his 18th birthday. And, that was the best thing I could think of for people to do. And man, they did. They showed up. A lot of you on Facebook sent him cards and gifts, and it was just, I have pictures of his face, just me handing him all his cards, and his eyes lit up. So 21's another milestone, and that'll be 3 years my mom's been gone, and I think these feelings are coming in and he's not knowing it. It's how you say, unconsciously or something. So they're flooding in and he's thinking it's being claustrophobic. So he does go, he sees a therapist and he sees a counselor, and they've taught him a lot of breathing exercises. I also see a therapist, and I'm telling you, if you've ever dealt with panic attacks or anxiety, those breathing exercises work wonders. So that's what he does. And plus it's hot in there. They have to wear blue jeans, boots, long sleeve shirts, a shirt up under there. It's hot. There's no air conditioning, so you got that in the factor. And you feel like you can't breathe. So today I told him, and I respect what everybody believes in. This is what I believe. I said, you are the son of an almighty God, and he has not left your side since he's put you in my arms, and he will never leave your side, and I will always be here as long as I can for you. And when you get these thoughts, you tell yourself who you are. He's not going to leave you nor forsake you. You do your breathing exercises, and you remember who you are and how proud my mother would have been of you. We didn't even think you'd graduate high school. So for him, he's the first. Me and my husband both did not graduate college. My brother didn't. His two oldest boys didn't. My dad, mother didn't, and so he's first generation college graduate. She missed his high school graduation. She's missed the college graduation. Um, and now he's just turned 21. And, that's tough. It's tough. I know how tough it is for me, knowing she was my best friend. And we had been together since she was 16 years old. And she passed at 60. But you don't know how it affects your children. So I just like to ask y'all to pray for him. He already has a hard enough time. He has a hard time making friends, and not that he just won't. Like, he has a little group he can go to. There's church ministries he could go to. He has a little friend that if they wanted to go bowling or something, he could do that. But he would rather just play his video games, and and that worries me, because I know I don't want him to be alone the rest of his life. But I also don't want him to be involved with the wrong set of people. So I just trust in God that He will send the right people to him. So I just wanted to share that. Like I said, it's not always sunshines and rainbows. But what I've learned with grief is, if you do have great grief, there must have been great love. Because you would not grieve over something that wasn't loved and did some wonderful things in your life. She's missed. Oh man, she's missed. And a little of me did die a little bit. I will say a little of me went with her. But I'm not going to let that change me. And that's understandable. That's going to happen when someone you love that much leaves us. So many blessings, y'all. Many blessings to you. Love you. Thanks for watching.